Jack. All right. You got the stuff?
Yeah. All cleaned and oiled.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Hot damn, it's time to get down to the jam. It's time to get down, it's time to get down, it's time to get down to the jam. I said it's time to get down to the knowledge, gonna get on down with the know. On the morning coffee show, on morning coffee with Keith, here on Pop Culture Minefield.
Excuse me, can I get a cup of coffee? Black?
Can't you see we talking white?
Good morning, Pop Culture Gremlins. Yeah, this is not the voice you expected to hear.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Welcome to Keithless Coffee with Keith.
Right?
Morning coffee without Keith.
Morning coffee sans Keith. Keith left us unsupervised in the studio today, and boy, was that a mistake.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he left Martin here in charge.
Well,
it's about the same as being.
I don't know if that's the correct term, but
it's about the same as being unsupervised.
Yeah.
Neither one of us is really the voice of reason, but
let us hope he sees the disaster we're about to make here. And
right?
Say, no. I need to save the channel from these bozos.
Right? No doubt. Yeah, Keith should be here any minute, but we got tired of waiting. We're just going, all right, hell with it. Let's go ahead. Let's go and do this. We'll let him catch up.
It is being a victim of technological improvement, as always. You know?
Technology is great until it isn't.
Yeah,
it's
so great when it works,
right?
Which is not that often.
Right. Yeah. The conversation we were having right before about trying to generate a character thumbnail. So yeah, and truth be told, I mean, today's episode is really kind of somber, but in theme, because I mean, we're talking a world that doesn't have Rob Reiner in it, and a world who does not have the guy behind The Princess Bride in it. Oh man, that's a slightly less Morning Gambit. That's a slightly less cool place to be. It's actually a lot less cool place to be. But also a world without Gil Gerard. I mean, dang. I remember tuning into Buck Rogers every week, just mostly for Aaron Gray, to be honest, but Aaron Gray in tight spandex and 70s hair. I'd take that. 70s or 80s hair. And but also John Varley. John Varley wrote some of the early science fiction that I, and the list of people we've lost this year. I mean, Bob Burns, I personally didn't know him, but didn't know much about him until I saw that he passed, and I'm like going, dang, what did I miss? And then who else is on that list? Varley, yeah, those are the four main ones. But dang,
But another example of technology failing. I'm not seeing the whole chat here in StreamYard.
Okay.
It is updating.
Right. Well, see, this is why I always have the YouTube page up, so that I can always see that.
I can. I seen it, but I cannot bring it up here.
Right. Because we have we have our own side chat here, but yeah, it is.
Okay, it's working.
It's working.
Yeah, I have to force it to work. God
right?
damn.
But But also I have to because I have to mute that one, the YouTube one. So all I can hear is what comes on here. Oh, Penny, is that Penny PJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she must be resting now because this
Yeah.
was this message was
Yeah.
some considerable
A while
quantity of
back.
minutes ago.
Oh man,
I hope
morning,
she's feeling better.
yeah, our morning just got that, got a little less bright without one of our fans here. It's, especially Benny's always there.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
but in Memoriam, God, yeah, it's just this hey, trailer for Supergirl.
Hey, this show was saved.
Show saved. Is that a Keith?
It certainly looks like a Keith.
I hate computers sometimes, man.
And it sounds like it. Yes.
I really, I don't podcast for a while, and everything turns to blah. Wow. Hello, everybody. Oh, wow. I came very close to just shoving this thing down a flight of stairs. Anyway,
I wouldn't.
I am here.
Stairs.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, it sounds like you guys are doing a very good job without me.
Yeah.
You obviously were
yeah.
not listening to this beforehand.
Man, he doesn't know.
We can get away with it. Just shut up. No, we're actually just hitting the, it's like, this is what the show's going to be about. Part of it.
Grumpy Keith.
Grumpy Keith. And now your alternate host, Grumpy Keith. But truth be told, Keith, your grumpy is still nicer.
What's going on? They told me they fixed it. It's not my fault. Oh, there you are. Oh my.
Yeah, Sander. Rip Buck Rogers. My goodness, I remember. Like I said, I remember when that series first came out, and I watched it from the premiere all the way through season 2. Oh God. The difference between the first season and the second season was massive. And Gil, I mean, I gotta hand it to Gil and Aaron. They both just soldiered on. And I think, of course, Gil was just, he just chewed that screen up. And so it was, but
well, look, let's just start at the beginning here. You're right. This is gonna really be a somber year.
Yeah.
The In Memoriam segment for 2025 already has a list of names, people that I never thought would go.
Right.
And,
yeah.
I'm just saying that it is just wow. I mean, we have lost a lot of really talented and very good people.
Oh,
and I've always wanted to meet Bob Burns. Bob Burns is one of the architects of really how a lot of us live our lives in terms of how we display our collections. He, along with Forrest J. Ackerman, really were the two that really started doing that way before it was fashionable. And to their spouses, I would like to say thank you for allowing them to do that.
Enabling them.
Oh, wow. It's just, for those of you who really were never familiar with Bob Burns,
That would be me.
He is someone like Forrest J. Ackerman who saw the value in preserving part of our film heritage. filmmaking prior to the 1960s, a lot of props that were made for movies were either repurposed, meaning they were somehow altered, stripped down for parts, or just thrown away. And Forrest J. Ackerman and Bob Burns were part of that first group of individuals who realized, hey, this stuff means something. Not just to fans, but really to this is something that needs to be preserved for posterity. Because you had people that were making things just to meet the deadlines to make the movies. But they recognize that there is a certain skill, that this is an actual art when people create props, costumes, and other things for movies, and that it should be preserved so that future generations can enjoy this outside of just the actual films and or television shows that were made to highlight this stuff.
Right.
And Bob Burns wasn't just a collector. He was someone that actually participated in a few events, a few films and TV shows. Now, I remember Bob physically as part of the Ghostbusters television show that aired on CBS. And this is 1975. And he played Tracy the Gorilla. And that show, which starred Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch, was one of those shows that entertained a lot of kids. And for those of us that watched a lot of early TV, it was an opportunity to watch two of the stars of F Troop reunited on a Saturday morning kids show. And to be fair, they weren't the only ones doing this. Okay, there were a lot of other big stars whom back in the early 70s were doing Saturday morning kids shows. But Ghostbusters continues to be something that people remember because a whole new generation of people came to know it as something slightly different when a couple guys from Saturday Night Live decided to do their own thing and use the same title. But Bob Burns was a part of that original cast. And like I said, he was someone who I came to know reading issues of Starlog and reading interviews with him, learning about what he had done and what he was continuing to do. I say to people all the time, there are a lot of people who have gotten us to where we are right now. And you need to take the time to go see these people while they are still around and appreciate what they have done for us. When Forrest J. Ackerman died, I remember saying, if you have a chance to meet Bob Burns, do it. Because he's the last of the two that got it right. Because nobody else was doing what they were doing. Nobody else had the foresight to try to rescue a lot of these props and other things so that people could see it.
Right.
And when some of the biggest filmmakers out there, when some of the biggest people in the industry grow up reading about what you've done, you know how big you are. And that's how big Forrest J. Ackerman and Bob Burns were. These guys are superstars.
Yeah, and it just, I mean, I'm just learning a little bit about Bob Burns, especially because the memorabilia is not where my specialty is. So I'm just looking at this and going, oh my God, this guy is like Hollywood's attic.
Yes. Yes. Where Forrest J was running a museum.
Mhm.
Bob Burns was the addict.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
everything. I mean, dude had, so yeah, and that he was basically, I mean, just looking at his filmography, he had parts in a lot of little things, but
Mhm.
he was, I love that gave him access to do what he truly did, because I love
Mhm.
having those kinds of that passion for collecting things,
Mhm.
um because
Well,
I
it's collecting, but also you
mhm,
got to remember
preserving,
pri- prior to even the 1970s,
mhm,
uh, the studio system, they never truly saw this as anything other than just, oh, it's something that was made for a movie, it's something that's taking up space.
mhm,
um, there's a reason why there are very few original posters and other things related to movies, because over the years a lot of studios would clean out their space. They would
mhm,
throw away dumpsters
mhm,
of posters and of theater cards, of programs, other things that they would send out. Heck, sometimes even reels of film. It's the reason
mhm,
why a lot of older movies are certain ones that don't exist anymore.
mhm,
And it is because of, again, people like Forrest J. Ackerman and Bob Burns that
mhm,
we were able to see a lot of this stuff and to understand the ingenuity and the just complete, just just artistic nature of what building props and or putting together things like even just costumes. And
mhm,
I think I think Mr. Burns was also the one of the other people that had a couple of the King Kong armatures from the original King Kong film.
hmm.
And I think the only other person that actually has any kind of armature related to the original King Kong film is Peter
Mhm.
Jackson.
Yeah. And I often joke that Peter Jackson went to Andy Serkis and said, "Hey Andy, I have a much bigger role in mind for you now." Um, and Andy's
Well,
thinking, "Oh, good, I get to stretch my legs." But no, you're just a big ape.
Yeah, monkey business.
But
but
man, yeah, 90 years. My goodness, that dude has been
that's a
around
heck
since
of a run.
35. God, yeah,
Yeah.
just thinking of because 35, he would have seen the end of the Depression at
Yes.
5, World War II, the Korea,
Hmm.
the Vietnam, landing on the moon, every space mission through the Apollo program, the
Wait,
death.
wait, wait, wait. What landing
Mhm.
on the moon? Humanity has never been to the moon. I'm joking,
Martin,
man. I know you
I
don't know
will
me
hurt
that
you.
well. I'm joking.
I will hurt you for even joking about that bullshit.
Man, I would love
That's,
to have seen your faces. Thinking,
I
is this
just
guy
like,
for real?
yeah, my eyebrows would have been down around my chin. I was just like, oh, I tried it so hard. Oh God, no. As a young man, I was a space aficionado, and everything NASA ever did. But just seeing all the things that he would have seen even before I was born. I mean, the premiere of Star Trek, the premiere of Doctor Who, you know,
Yeah.
Shatner when he could act.
Oh,
Ouch.
wow. That still puts him leagues better than anything under Kurtzman.
Well, Kurtzman
So,
has some good actors, but he's wasting their talents.
I have
Um,
I have words, choice words for you, Ben.
hmm.
How dare you?
There you
I'm
go.
sorry. After a certain point, Shatner didn't have to act. He could just be Shatner, And granted, it was still good, but after a certain point, everything is just Bill Shatner being Bill Shatner. You know,
You don't need anything else.
but yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, just all the
I'm a
things-
Shatner chauvinist. Sue me.
a what?
Shatner
Oh,
chauvinist.
Shatner chauvinist. No, you're a Shatner supremacist. That's just
Yes, that's the one.
Wow.
But yeah, no, and oh man, um, and the beauty of it is though, and I hope, or at least I hope that it is that collection, that preservation will continue.
Well, I hope they treat his collection better than what happened with Forrest J. Ackerman.
Mm,
Because what happened with Forrest J. Ackerman's entire collection, as well as his house, is to this day a crime.
mm,
What his son did, I mean, I don't know the guy, but obviously he was definitely not a fan.
right.
And to have so many, I think there were people within the business,
Hmm.
many of whom were very famous people, who wanted to buy large chunks of, if not the entire collection.
Hmm.
And for whatever reason, the son basically just dumped it all. And basically they destroyed the house.
Oh,
Oh man.
Oh, you
Yeah, that dude.
I never talked about what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. And he waited until his dad was gone. He did not wait that long after his father died before he did that.
Mm,
And this is a guy who had everything. He had a complete Bela Lugosi Dracula costume, complete rings.
oh man.
He had he had the necklace, everything.
I mean, would it
He
have
had
been better to auction it?
his for whatever reason his son just and then the new people who took over the magazine, who forced Forrest J. Ackerman out, were definitely not fans. Basically, this was everything that you saw Kurtzman do to Star Trek, or everything that Kennedy did to Star Wars, was done years ago to Forrest J. Ackerman when these people took over his famous Monsters magazine, and then eventually what happened after he passed away, as soon as his son was able to get his hands on everything and just basically got rid of everything. And you got to remember, you're talking, again, one of two people who a lot of famous people in the business grew up always wanting to visit, look at these collections, meet the people behind this stuff, learn their stories. These two people were the guardians of our history when it came to the types of films that Hollywood didn't really put a lot of stock in. You got to remember, prior to the 1960s, really prior to the 1950s, Hollywood didn't treat anything that wasn't a drama or some sort of an Oscar bait type movie. If you made science fiction or horror or fantasy or whatever, you were never taken seriously, ever. So they never saw the use in preserving any of the things that you had.
right.
If there's any, in my opinion, if there's anything left, any type of memorabilia, any type of prop or anything for any film made prior to the 1960s, you gotta thank both these gentlemen for helping keep it around. And that's to me, if you're gonna be remembered for something, that I can think of worse things. Bob Burns has a book called Monster Kid Memories. If you really want to know more about Bob, check out that book. You can actually buy it through Walmart and learn about his life, learn about the things he collected, learn about his career, and again, like with a lot of things, I was really hoping to be able to catch up to him at a convention. You know, that's mainly how I'm able to meet a lot of people nowadays, is just going to conventions. And if you have an opportunity to meet any of these major influencers and talented people, do it while you still can. In fact, that's how I was able to meet Gerard. And I wish I had been able to meet John Valey, who I have to say, personally, if you're one of these people sitting in Hollywood going, man, there are no ideas left, you aren't searching hard enough. Varley's books are perfect to be turned into either miniseries or movies.
See, and his Gaia trilogy was one of my earliest reads, science fiction reads.
Yeah.
I mean, Gaia was the guy, you know, Sirocco Jones was one of my first book crushes. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
It's John Valey. If there's anything if there is any way that I can really just shed more light on his career and the books that he has written, I think the greatest thing you can do right now is either go to your favorite bookstore, or if you can just download any of that stuff, just read it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say, is just read it.
Oh yeah.
Varley's style, he was one of the few people whose style was very reminiscent of Robert Heinlein. He was a Heinlein type writer. And go ahead.
Well, and he had a way of just really, really pushing the envelope.
Yes.
You know, going into the Gaia trilogy, Irma Gerd, the way he approached their everything.
Yes.
You know, because everything was based on music, but then you had and then you get into the mating practices, but everything about, you know, the Titan world was just like what, you know, just completely mind-blowing. You know, and then you start with Red Thunder in the Thunder and Lightning series, and the way, you know, just the concepts that he comes up with the spheres, you know, it's such a simple thing, but you know, you know, the way you're trying, and yeah, he has a very approachable way of going at things. You know, his writing is very approachable, very, very easy to follow and just get hooked on. Yeah.
Look,
and
there is a reason why he was a multiple Hugo and Nebula Award winning author. Okay. You do not, that's not something that's just handed out.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, especially people who are fans, need to understand that. We need to get back to that, and to understand that there are people whose work definitely deserves to be remembered, if not enjoyed. And
well, and there, I mean, there is one of his books or short stories that got turned into a movie. Millennium got turned into a movie in 1989, which was, you know, fascinating approach. I'm just discovering his 8 World series through this, which means I have got more stuff to go buy.
Well, but that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do with any author, with anyone whose imagination was just incredible like this, is to read their work. And if more people would just take time out to do that, especially people who work in the entertainment industry, I think we'd be better off. we would have more
Mhm.
things out there that are just incredible to watch.
Mhm.
Because this whole sit and spin approach, where we just, you got a bunch of people sitting around acting like there's nothing else to do,
Mhm.
that there are no other ideas to have,
Right.
it is just insulting beyond belief.
Yeah.
And
No. And well, I mean, we are literally standing on the shoulders of giants. You
yes,
know.
surrounded by books,
Mhm.
surrounded by, you know, dozens upon dozens of just really talented authors who have written everything. Their work is there. Their work
Mhm.
is there. And
Oh, yeah.
it's the reason why I have the belief that I do. Part of the
Mhm.
reason why I was able to do this uh,
Mhm.
is because I've come to believe there are just way too many lazy people out there.
Oh yeah.
There are
Well,
way too
and
many lazy fans out there who want things to be just handed to them and who aren't going to take the time to just do something as simple as go down to their local library or their favorite
Mhm.
bookstore and pick up
Mhm.
a book or a comic that may not be something that you would have immediately found on your own, but
Mhm.
to at least just to give yourself the opportunity to discover something new by someone
Right.
you may not have thought about,
Yeah. Well,
and to give
and
yourself the opportunity to grow that way.
right. And of course, you know, got to shout out. I know our fans are not that kind of fan.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah.
Our fans are pulling deep cuts. I'm going here, going, what the? Okay,
Yeah,
but, so yeah, I mean that kind of makes me grateful for the fans we have, because we got. I mean, going into the chat just today, I'm just looking at this long list of Bob Burns acting credits from
yeah,
Gambit, and I'm just going,
yeah.
wow, good
Gambit the
lord,
first. I mean,
yeah,
again, he, yeah. You.
and mhm,
Well, I was just gonna. This is the frustrating thing.
mhm.
This is part of the reason why it seems like, wow, you got people walking around going, yeah, Hollywood's done. We've seen everything. We've seen everything. Hollywood's done everything. And this is
There's
just
nothing
another,
new. Yeah, no,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's just a way of rebuking a lot of that. It's like, no, you
Mhm.
haven't seen everything. You haven't read
No,
everything.
you can't. It's literally impossible to have done that, and
Yeah.
it's just. And here's the thing I think that separates writers like Varley, Heinlein, and so many others, from what we're seeing today. Not that what we're seeing today is specifically bad. Some of it is,
Just
but
generally.
yeah, generally in every area you're going to have some good and bad. Um, you know, and for people are going to think things are good and bad for different reasons. It's like I hate cold equations as a story because it requires the reader to believe certain assumptions that are just flat stupid for space travel. But um, you have Varley and Heinlein and a lot of the early science fiction writers were not limited by simply what was possible.
Mm-hmm.
They imagined things beyond what we thought could be done. Time travel, faster than light, things like that. And now we have so many writers who are going, well, science says that you simply cannot travel faster than the speed of light because of these theories. And, it puts a limit. This is why I like a lot of non-American science fiction writers, because they don't go, well, science says it's not possible. No, they go, what if?
Yeah.
And that's what, because that's what Varley was doing. I mean, with Titan, it's what if things were not the way we expected? What if we didn't have to kill food? We could just cut pieces off of it and regrow it. What if there was a species who had two completely different sets of genitalia? I mean, yeah, the centaurs in the Gaia series are this amazingly complex, thing, and their whole genealogical possibility, it makes Punnett squares look like tic-tac-toe. But he basically wasn't going, well, genetically this is not possible because these things are, it's like, no, what if and that's
I have to disagree.
what about what
I prefer my science fiction being science accurate.
mm-hmm.
If you want to go science fiction, be science accurate. You can be speculative, but you cannot be fantastic. If you want to do that, write a fantasy book.
Well,
okay. I think there's room for all of it. I think in the end,
I am not negating the existence of the fantasy genre. I just said if you want to be fantastic, go to fantasy genre. If you want to be sci-fi,
but remember Clark's third law.
Your speculation should be based on real science.
Also, a lot of these books were written before science really got around to answering certain questions.
Of course,
I think that it's good. I think it's good to have a lot of this work specifically just because it shows that you were dealing with people who were able to dream beyond what was possible.
Exactly.
That's an element that really is missing in a lot of work being done nowadays. Because there is a tendency to want to depend on things almost too literally without really inserting a touch of the imagination. And I'm not saying.
Wait. I have an example of it. Oh, let me explain my position with an example. I understand the thing of the fact of nurturing the imagination. In fact, imagination is what most people say.
Yes,
is what moves forward the technological progress.
Yeah,
which is kind of debatable because it's not forced imagination; it's work around imagination. Because if you want to say no, I don't care if science says faster than light. Flight is impossible. I will push it. We wouldn't have things that are scientifically sound as the warp drive, because NASA has been working on that. We all nerds know NASA has been working on warp drive. Impediment. We need ungodly amounts of energy to make it work, but the theory is there and it's solid. Right. So, I would say, and being in. My background is computer science. Many things you cannot just do. You have to work around it, and that is where progress comes.
That's again, I got to throw out there, Clark's third law is any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I mean, there is fantasy, and that uses a different approach. But I think that sometimes, but here is what I have found in writing, and I think I've said it before: readers will accept the impossible. FTL drive, time travel, phasers, and things like that don't exist, but they will absolutely reject what I call the improbable. And my biggest one is the safety on a Glock. But external safety on a Glock. Glocks don't have external safety. You don't flip the safety off on a Glock. but
Well,
it's a thing that we know does not work. It contradicts what we can see, touch, and feel, so it becomes highly improbable that that is a thing. It's actually they will absolutely reject the inaccurate is the word I'm actually looking for. So yeah, I mean there has to be a grounding. We have to be able to believe that, but gravity plating in Star Trek, patently impossible currently. Inertial dampeners, patently impossible. No actual current grounding in science that gives us the ability to control inertia.
It's for me.
Mhm.
That's just part of the balance of what this is.
Right.
I don't think I could have ever become a fan without that little bit of just imagination.
Mhm.
But I can also say that, like Martin, I had reached a point, especially in
Mhm.
college, where I started to get really tired of people just making stuff up that just
Mhm.
didn't sound very well. You just got to think it through.
Yeah.
Whenever you create anything, you got to think it through. And this is the reason why I often say that current Hollywood has failed, because you have to think of it like, the one thing as a storyteller that you really have to remain cognizant of is that when you are telling a story, you are really creating a contract between yourself and the reader.
Mhm.
You are presenting a story that has its own rule set, and you are setting what these rules are and
Mhm.
how everything works. The moment you break faith with the reader on any of that stuff,
Mhm.
they're out. You've lost them. And people need to understand that there are a lot of writers, especially in science fiction and fantasy, but definitely science fiction for me,
Mhm.
who are just that good. They can keep an audience.
Mhm.
And they never break faith with the audience. But if they ever do, they have a good reason why they do. It's not just
When
put in
they
there for the sake of putting
Mhm.
something down.
when they when you change the rules, you have to have a good reason and
Yeah,
for exception. Yeah.
yes, yes, and again, it's not something that I could ever look at someone like Varley and just say, yeah, that guy just kept changing his mind. Again, you do not get to become the
Mhm.
winner of a nebula
Mhm.
and really to have won the awards that he has, but especially Nebula. You
Right.
don't get a chance to do that winning the Nebula and the Hugo, I should say.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And when you change the rules too much, when you tick off the reader,
Right.
you have to have your readers trust you.
Mhm.
What am I saying? I'm explaining to somebody that's a best-selling author anyway. You know what I'm saying, Ben. It's
Well,
just
I am an
the
author,
readers.
but yeah, when
You,
because yeah, I mean, when you look at Varley's, his bibliography, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Jeez.
7, 8, you know, 8 books in a row, starting with the Afiochi Hotline, all the way through Red Thunder in 2003. Locus SF Award, Nebula Award nominee, Locus Award nominee, Hugo and Locus, Philip K. Dick Award, Hugo and Locus SF. I mean, just like 8 in a row,
Yeah.
winning the Prometheus Award, with Red Thunder, Golden with the Golden Globe and the Endeavor Award with Red Thunder. I just you don't get into those circles without being good, and that's the thing of it, like in going through and reading, like reading Titan, Wizard, and Demon. is the consistency within which, as Shirako learns more about the world that she even lives in,
Yeah.
and explores it. Varley never breaks faith with his world. Now he will introduce new information, which just floors you. But
You know what? Titan is actually set in 2025. I'd forgotten all about that.
yeah, right. Yeah, we were sending out ships to Jupiter, manned ships to Jupiter. Where the hell is my manned ship to Jupiter?
Hey,
and my flying car.
I'm still waiting for my flying car and jetpack. Okay, so
Right?
it is.
We're damn close on the jetpacks.
Oh, not close enough. Not
I
close
know.
enough.
Right? But
But
along those lines, Iron Man showed us how it could be done.
true. I'm just saying that
Mhm.
you really have to be someone who is truly talented to be able to win all of those awards.
Or
Those
even
things
hit the
are just
nomination
not-
process for those.
Yeah, that's not freely just given to anybody.
Right.
And
Well, and here's the thing. Having knowing currently a Philip K. Dick Award nominee and honorable mention winner, and reading her work by comparison to you don't get there without putting in the work. I wish I was a tenth as good as Varley. But he, and
I look, it's just hard to get a lot of those awards. And
oh yeah,
I speaking as someone who has actually held a Nebula Award in my hands,
mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful award. For
Mm-hmm.
those who are listening to us right now, Google that award. It's one of the most beautiful looking awards. And, wow, it's I wish I could have taken that home. That and the Hugo are just two beautiful looking awards, but it takes a lot to win either one of those.
Yeah,
You really have to be good. Okay, there's no other way to put it. And in order to be someone, there are people that can have careers where you might get 1, 2, maybe 3.
mm-hmm.
And Varley just went through a period where he was just racking them up.
Oh yeah, and when you say a period where he was racking them up, I mean, bear in mind that time frame is not small.
Yes, there's a lot of other people writing during that time frame. Many of whom Hollywood has come a knocking and going, "Hey, I like what you got going on. Let's turn."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got a lot of people operating during this period that are just there are no slouches in the imagination department. And for Varley to continue to be one of the top people,
right? Well, and bear in mind that, like I said, that period, that was 26 years from 1977 to 2003. There was not a single book he put out that did not get put up for the Hugo, the Locust, the Nebula, just every damn time. By the way, I posted in our chat a picture of it's small.
She said.
But
oh jeez.
Took me a second to contextualize that.
There you go.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean that's
a beautiful award.
Yeah, no doubt.
In my collection of pictures, I know I took a picture of the award when I saw it.
Right.
But I again, you look at this award, and all you can do is just go, "Wow!"
Yeah,
just wow.
and knowing what it was up against is
Oh,
just
jeez.
insane. Just to get up there. But yeah, and like I said, Varley had a very good style of writing. He had a very approachable style, and he in one of the books completely sidesteps from Scirocco to a side character and that whole development. And I'm just going, I'm here for that. I can't do that with very many authors, just like completely sidestep into a secondary character and be just as interested in that as your main character.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, he was doing this from the 70s. This is me in the 80s, just having my science fiction, my sci-fi renaissance. And Varley was a big part of that.
We lost a major talent, and it cannot be overstated how talented he was and how deserving he was of the recognition that he got. You do not come across people that are that consistent,
right?
It's just you can have people that can be entertaining, but to be that consistent,
right?
I mean, wow, just wow. In fact, hold on, I might have. Let's see. I think I can do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this. This is the Hugo. Name for Hugo Gernsback. Another one of those awards that
Yeah. And see, that was elegant in its simplicity.
Yes.
But it also, it harkens back to the earlier days of science fiction.
I
I
remember the first time I ever saw someone just gush openly about winning one of these was J. Michael Straczynski, who, when he had Babylon 5, was just over the moon excited.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Nominated for one, let alone win one. And Babylon 5 consistently got nominated for these things. For years, even Star Trek. Although I find it kind of interesting that outside of the original series and maybe the Next Generation, not too many more after that got nominated. Star Trek just kind of sort of faded a little bit. There are very few modern, quote unquote, modern shows that get nominated and definitely deserve to win either a Hugo or Nebula. But yeah, if just go and read Varley. Just pick up.
Yeah, I mean,
the beginning. That's all. That's really what we're saying. Do yourself a favor. I mean, it's Christmas is going to be here a week from today. Do yourself a favor. Just start at the beginning. Pick up Titan. Just pick up Titan.
Titan's a great place to start. Yeah. Titan and Red Thunder, I think, are the two that I would start with. because Red Thunder is just like starts here on Earth, and Red Thunder actually reminds me of the Andy Griffith series, Salvage One or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it has that same energy, and I loved it. You know, Jubal is one of my favorite scientific geniuses ever. You know, and just yeah, Red Thunder or Titan are two great places to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I just
yeah, just I mean, like, because and you know what we're talking about, like with the awards, that was just his novels that we put up there. You have this guy won the Locus Award 10 times, the Nebula Award twice, and the Hugo 3 times. You know, I mean, yeah, you can't. He also is the Jupiter Award, the Pre-Tour Apollo Award. Yeah, he even won the Highland Award in 2009. Yeah, it's and I think the thing about Varley is that he concentrates so well on the humanity of his characters, you know?
Yeah.
And yes, Gambit, it is a wonderful award. I mean, it's just you know, oh yeah, and then I mean, I can't go on about Varley enough, you know. But I'm gonna have to, because we have other names on this list that are equally deserving of time.
Guys, I only
Yeah.
have half an hour left.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we should
We're
probably
gonna wrap this up.
give
We're gonna get to everyone else. Next, let's just say this.
Mhm.
We can. I think we've already touched on Gerard. We've already
Mhm.
touched on, of course, John Varley, and a lot.
Right. Let's say we infested John Farley like a fucking fungus.
And hopefully we've inspired people to at least go and
Right?
read one or two of his books.
I think Gambit's on board. It's like Christmas is just around the corner. Yes, it is.
It is. It's a week from today.
Right?
And
By the way, I have a whole series of books you can buy for Christmas.
yes. Yes.
But anyway, but next on that list, if it's who I think it is.
It is. Look, I wasn't, again, I had always, something in the back of my mind always told me that I would eventually catch up to him, that I would be able to meet him. Someone who is talent that was just born into the industry. And that's really what Rob Reiner was.
Right?
He made it look easy, even though there's a lot of work behind what he did. And for someone who had all of this stuff, he had some excellent teachers. He learned from some really good people.
Oh, yeah.
He never really sloughed off in any area that he was ever in. Now, for me, I did not know this at the time, but for me, I actually first ran into Rob Reiner's work as a writer. It's how I first came to know him. And that was as the youngest writer on staff that they had for the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour.
I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, no.
He worked for the Smothers Brothers. He was the youngest writer they had. And other people in the writer's room for that show was a former comedy duo who ended up being writers for the Smothers Brothers. A comedy duo that called themselves Steve Martin Mull.
Huh.
It was Steve Martin and Martin Mull.
Martin Mull, right?
And again, there were a lot of other people that worked in their rooms, but in their comedy room. But that's really, I remember hearing about that. And then the next thing you know, he went from working in the Smothers Brothers to working on All in the Family. So he really did start out in the quote unquote family business by trying to write. He didn't immediately start out in acting. A lot of people, when they talk about Rob Reiner, they always start with All in the Family, and it turns out no, he actually did pay his dues. You know, he had to pay his dues, and so if you're going to start out at the beginning, you start out at the beginning. You know, you start with this professional job, which is being the youngest writer in a comedy room of writers for one of the most dangerous TV shows on television.
Oh, absolutely.
In terms of their influence, but also the fact that the Smothers Brothers tried to fight for what was right, and they didn't care how much the network would threaten them with this or that. Two guys who were so influential that they decided to hire really a kid to work on their show so that their jokes and the humor and the things they were talking about were truly relevant to the time that they were talking about it.
Right.
I really appreciated that. You know, I was also a big fan of the Smothers Brothers. I also like the fact that these guys were with it. I mean, I know we're talking about Rob Reiner, but a little aside here about the Smothers Brothers. These guys were so understanding and so about the joke, as long as it was topical and funny.
Right.
That they actually came back in the 90s.
I remember
just
that.
to pull off a joke. Just to pull off a joke for a television series. You know, the series In Living Color. They came back for that. You had Keenan Ivory Wayans and Damon Wayans had their little thing that they did called the Brothers Brothers, a black version of the Smothers Brothers. Well, the Smothers Brothers did their singing. That was the inside joke for the whole thing. They came back to do that for them. Okay. Now, the other thing is that Tom Smothers was also someone who believed in giving young artists an opportunity and a chance. And that's how I'm connecting it to Rob Reiner. This was pretty much what they did. And so a few years after giving Rob Reiner an opportunity, there were some kids who Tom was touring, I think, in Michigan, and he met with a group of young men who were wanting to make movies and stuff, and he gave them their seed money. And they went off and shot a movie called Evil Dead. Renaissance Pictures, the people behind the Evil Dead films, Sam Raimi and Ivan Raimi and everybody connected with that, did what they were able to do with seed money from Tommy Smothers.
And
again, he put his money where his mouth was, where his beliefs were. So that's my special shout out to the Smothers Brothers, with a particular emphasis on Tommy Smothers.
Mhm.
But to get back to Rob Reiner, All in the Family, I remember, was just one of those shows that just shocked everybody. They knew what to do and how to get to the heart of any subject matter they were trying to talk about. But it wasn't shock for shock's sake. They had a message and they knew exactly what they were doing to get what they were trying to get out.
Mhm.
All of the actors on that show were brilliant. And Rob Reiner playing Mike Stivic, aka Meathead. There's a
Right.
reason why he won his Emmys.
Oh yeah, he won 2 Emmys on that show. You know? And yeah, and All in the Family. Oh my God, I remember when All in the Family broke ground on so many different ways.
Oh yeah,
because it featured a very relatable, very conservative guy having his views challenged on a weekly basis.
Yes.
And it was just like and I think that Mike and Gloria were just were the perfect foils for that. And it showed that he was playing a character that he believed in.
It wasn't just that. It was just
Mhm.
All in the Family, which really, in my opinion, was really at the heart of this massive universe of shows and characters. You got to remember, All in the Family was an award-winning show that actually then got revived a few years later after it went off the air, and became Archie's Place.
Mm-hmm.
And between the premiere of All in the Family and Archie's Place, you had this whole universe of shows that were launched.
Mm-hmm. Well, Maude, the Jeffersons,
and Maude would lead into Good Times.
Good Times, yeah. And yeah,
that
and
entire oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and this is all before he gets into writing and directing and producing.
Oh yeah. You are learning from, you're on the top show on at that time the top network, because CBS was just killing it.
Right.
CBS was really the network that you went to when you really wanted to just sit down with the family and just the CBS network in the 70s was really the television equivalent of comfort food.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And they had everything. They had everything. You had I still think the record for the longest, I think CBS has had the record for the most number of longest running TV shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because you had CBS was the home of Hawaii Five-0, and that ran for a long time. MASH, which was around the same time period, ran for quite a few years. All in the Family, 9 seasons. Good Times.
Yeah.
Gunsmoke was also a CBS network series. Magnum PI itself ran for years.
Right.
CBS just had that something, and you would often just turn to CBS just to, as I said before, it was just
comfort. Right.
You know?
And, right. And then, and also, trying to be mindful of Martin's time here. But then you get where he, in 84, when he starts with Spinal Tap,
Yes.
took me years to figure out that this was Rob Reiner. This was Meathead, of this, I'm going, oh my God, and then Stand By Me. And bear in mind, he wrote and directed Spinal Tap and Spinal Tap 2. But, and then Stand By Me. Oh my God. Basically almost every member of that lead cast, if I remember right, went on to do great things. And then one of the few movies that I bought on VHS, The Princess Bride, which will live eternally. This is one of those
All
movies.
these films will. All of
Yeah.
these films will. It's a master class in
Mhm.
not only directing but writing
Oh, yeah.
and casting, because it is very easy to throw a movie off when you miscast.
Oh yeah. No, I
You can
mean,
have everything could be perfect,
uh-huh.
but if you miscast, it'll throw the entire project off.
Well, and when as a director, he took Kathy Bates in Misery and got her an Academy Award. If I'm remembering right, that was her first major role.
Hmm.
She won an Academy Award for Misery. And I mean, it's just like,
Well,
yeah. Mhm.
I just think that when you look at something like, say, Stand By Me,
Mhm.
you think that you're not just dealing with a film about a bunch of young kids. This is an adaptation of a Stephen King story at a
Yeah.
time when because this is pre even the Shawshank Redemption.
Right. This is 86. Yeah. This is,
Yeah.
yeah. This is, and this is when, you're competing with a lot of other sci-fi stories and things like that. And he goes on from that one to producing Princess Bride, but Stand By Me is just, I think Stand By Me is like Reiner's signature for almost everything else he did, because it's very much in the world we live in, or lived in, because of when it's set, and just so. I remember there's a scene in Princess Bride that, because it flips away from what he likes, makes it stand out that much more. And it's when Buttercup is writing, and he complains about that lens flare when she's writing in front, with the sun behind her, and he's going, this takes the viewer out of the moment. It looks like it's being filmed. And that's, I think that was the thing that made his movies as good as they were, is you never felt you were watching a movie. You just felt you were there, because he took out everything that made it feel like you weren't there.
Yeah. People keep mentioning the same movies. You got to understand, this guy did a lot more than just what we've been mentioning. People keep forgetting the movie North is his. Alex and Emma, The Story of Us, really good Bruce Willis, Michelle Pfeiffer film. The Ghost of Mississippi. One of this is actually his earliest film, which is The Sure Thing. I remember when that came out, and he was gushing about his two lead actors, which were Daphne Zenenga and John Cusack. And this is a movie that I think a lot of people should rediscover. Seriously,
Mhm.
should really rediscover The Sure Thing.
Mhm.
And then you have Rumor Has It,
Mhm.
which in and of itself is just, The Bucket List with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman.
Mhm.
And of course, my favorite of his films, The American President.
See, I was going there too. Of course, my favorite of his films is Princess Bride, but American President was so good. You know.
Yeah, it led to indirectly it led to the television series The West Wing, which is one of my all-time favorite shows.
Yes.
But Rob Reiner could basically just do anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, and when you look at the sheer number of films where he was both director and producer, and then
I think my greatest regret is I had
Mhm.
an opportunity to talk to Michael O'Hare.
Mhm.
Michael O'Hare was the lead actor from Babylon 5.
Mhm.
Okay, he was Commander Sinclair. What a lot of people don't know is that Jack Nicholson's role in A Few Good Men was originated by Michael O'Hare on Broadway.
Hmm.
And I never got around to asking him about that. Because when I was sitting down and talking to him, it just felt like to try to breach that subject might be a little painful.
Mhm.
It's a great movie and everything. But it when you talk about actors who miss out on doing the film version of a play that they were really, really good at,
Mhm.
like for instance, Mark Hamill could have easily have done Amadeus,
Mhm.
because he did it on Broadway. But then again, so did David Bowie. David Bowie also played Amadeus on Broadway.
Mhm.
Either one of them could have been in the film version, and I'm sure it was kind of painful for both of them to see the guy from Animal House take it and get all these awards,
Right.
and accolades for being in the film version.
Right.
It. Then again, Julie Andrews.
Mhm. Well, and so one thing I have to look at on this with The Princess Bride, especially because my girl loves Columbo,
Yes.
is him taking Peter Falk and keeping everything that is Peter Falk, but not letting him be Columbo. you know, all right, okay. That final "as you wish," he made some masterful choices in everything he did.
He made it look easy.
Mhm.
I mean, seriously, given his background,
Mhm.
up until he started making movies, he could have easily just been that guy that was on All in the Family and did a couple acting things. He still acted through all of it. He was still making cameo appearances. I didn't realize he had done an episode of Batman.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Batman
The 67, the Camp Batman. Yeah. He was like a delivery guy or something.
Yeah. And then he did an episode a few years later of The Partridge Family.
Yes, A Man Called Snake. I actually remember that for some reason.
Do you remember when Mark Hamill was on The Partridge Family?
No, I did not even know that.
The episode where Laurie's braces start to bring in the radio signals.
Oh.
Anyway, we're getting off track. But
no. Actually, we're still on track because that's the thing is, and I think that's the thing about Rob Reiner is that he was still so very invested in every aspect of movie making and television. In that he was still acting, he was still writing, he was still producing and directing. He was the total package in terms of being in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was it. And it just, it's so, and you know,
I'm so
and
old, I can remember when he was married to Penny Marshall. You know?
right? Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, he directed a if I remember right, he directed a and I don't remember which one it is. He directed an episode of Happy Days. So, and the sad thing is that of the ones that we lost this year, you know,
this was the hardest.
yeah,
It's
this
most
was
shocking, and it's the
yeah.
hardest because he's such a nice guy.
Oh yeah,
So
well, and he's the earliest because he's 78. Bob Burns was what, 90?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't remember how old Gerard was, but Varley was Varley was 78 as well. And it's just, but you know, he was cut short, you know, tragically, and that just makes that even worse. And this has been a hard year, and I hope next year is better.
Well, as I said at the beginning when I started, you know, the In Memoriam segment for this year is going to be a long one.
Oh yeah,
because there's so many people, and it's wow. I can't even. Yeah, I just can't even. I just think
you know,
that when you think about his appearance on New Girl, Rob Reiner, and doing like the thing like he did for, I think it was the history of comedy for CNN, which again, I tell people all the time that if you watch anything else from CNN, watch that, the history of comedy.
Right.
It is well worth your time. But
yeah,
I just Rob Reiner was just wow. He was the real deal. And again, like I said, I had always thought that I would be able
to meet him,
catch up to him sometime and meet him.
Yeah.
You know, wow.
Yeah. So here's what we need to do. Because we're doing an in memoriam with people who've lost. You know, I think we would do well to start a like up and comer, you know, who, you know, basically the new talent that we start seeing. And granted, that list is going to be a lot shorter. But well, bear in mind, because that's everybody that's showed up in a specific year. You're in memoriam. You're going to be dealing with people who have been at this for years and years and years, and you know, leaving at various points in their lives. But you know, we should be looking at who's new, who's doing a good job. You know, things to look forward to in the industry. You know,
I know it's just hard to.
It's hard to predict that future.
Yeah, but it's also hard when you've lost a lot of good people. I mean, one of the names that we're definitely going to be talking about in Memoriam is Peter David. That one hit hard because Peter David has written so much. He was someone that not only wrote some really cool books, but he did a lot of really cool comics, and he walked that line. And I tell people all the time, if you really want to read something kind of cool, kind of fun, something that I'm still surprised that Hollywood hadn't taken a chance on, it's his book called Nightlife, which is Knight Life. Trust me, great story. College professors whose class I was taking about Arthurian legends had not heard of the book, but it was because of that book that I learned a secret about King Arthur that you know, not many people know, and he was kind of impressed that this guy put it in the book, that Peter David had put it in the book about, you know.
Right.
Anyway, it is. It's going to be a tough year, man. It's going to be a real tough year to go back over all that. And I do agree we should be doing something about the new people. But the thing is, you're going to have to pick it. You need to go through and just find them after they've already been kind of sort of recognized a little bit, because you can't just do everybody. That's a show longer than what we've ever really done. So
right, no doubt.
So anyway, good show today, everybody. Again, if you get an opportunity, just check out any of the work by any of the people that we discussed today. Gil Gerard. Forgot to mention, he actually had a movie that I really enjoyed watching him in, that he had a cameo appearance in. Okay, not many people know that he's in the movie The Nice Guys. Gil Gerard's actually in that movie, The Nice Guys. But Gil Gerard, definitely long career, great career. A man who was very educated. Look at what he would have done had he not become an actor. Trust me. Wow. And I didn't realize he had been married to Connie Selica when he was doing Buck Rogers. I forgot that Connie Selica had been married to Gil Gerard before she ended up marrying her current husband. Bob Burns, definitely. As I said earlier, he's got a book out there about his life. And of course, John Varley. If you got to start with one, start with Titan. Just start with Titan and go from there. And of course, pick any one of just the incredible number of projects, television shows, and movies that Rob Reiner was a part of.
Or for most of us, go back to the ones that you love of his stuff. You know?
Yes. You get a chance, check out Princess Bride, The Sure Thing, The American President, any one of those films. And just, just be in awe of how much one man was able to do.
Yeah.
And the lives that he touched. All of these gentlemen were able to touch. Truly an incredible loss of talent, along with Steve Cropper. Jeez, I keep forgetting Steve Cropper. We're living in a world without Steve Cropper. Gosh. Booker T and the MGs, people, or the Blues Brothers Band, or the Saturday Night Live Band. Check out any one of those. Steve Cropper. Wow. I think that's it for today's show. It's enough to make one want to start drinking.
we can only deal with so much loss at a time.
Yeah, and it's getting harder. You start seeing large numbers of individuals go, and that's really what made it hard. As I said earlier, though, the key is to at least make sure you go see the people that you've always wanted to meet. They still have a lot of personal appearances, conventions, and other things. I think they announced that William Shatner's still meeting people. He's going to be in Kansas City in March. So I'm going to go meet the man again. As long as he's still alive, I'll go to wherever he's at. Because, he's William flipping Shatner.
Right.
Everybody else just better deal. So...
Right.
But speaking of which, since he's a friend of the show, Chris Jackson, the man behind Planet Comic Con, just check out Planet Comic Con on Facebook, or check out planetcomiccon.com online. Check out that guest list. It's looking like cast members of The Boys will be the big thing next year. So we're gonna see a lot of the cast members from The Boys.
Right.
So, along with William Shatner.
Yeah.
So, anyway, good show today, everybody. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I am. It's hard to be talking about all this loss.
Yeah. Kind of tapped on that, huh?
Sometimes it's easy to get tapped on that. So, anyway, I want to thank, of course, Ben and Martin for being the complete cool guys that they are. Talented men who are able to step up when technology fails me. I'd like to thank all of our fans today, especially the ones that showed up, Lord Thoth and B312 and Anima and the lovely Penny and Snorty and Gambit, and everybody, especially you right now that's watching us. Be sure to check us out. Wow, wait a minute, that's a good question. Are we doing a show on Christmas?
You're gonna have a hard time prying my butt away from Christmas dinner and grandkids and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No. I thought I put it out there. It looks like we'll be skipping another week, and we'll just run into you guys again the following Thursday. But
I mean, everybody's gonna skip the week, even the audience.
Yeah, even the audience. So we'll see you guys the Thursday after Christmas, because that show will definitely be.
That'll be on New Year's Day.
Yeah,
that'll be the hangover show. Yes.
Yeah, remember, I don't think we're gonna do.
Remember, Christmas and New Year's Day are always 1 week apart. Whatever day Christmas falls on, New Year's Day falls on this 1 week later, the same day.
Well,
but you can still do the show. I won't.
Marby showed up. Yeah. What year is it?
Who knows? I might show up New Year's Day. Who knows? I might just jump on here and just do a whole big show and try not to get too emotional about all the people that have passed for the year gone by, and looking forward to the year that we got coming up.
Right.
Who knows? You never know.
Right. So,
well, listen, it's always great doing it. It's always great doing it for all of you here. And again, I consider myself lucky to be doing this with Ben and Martin, two guys who basically go out of their way to make me look good. So
it's an easy job.
Yeah, it's an easy job.
It is. You guys are just that good. Anyway, on behalf of myself and my problematic PC, and for everyone here on the show this morning, in the words of my other twin brother, Robert Reiner Burnett, have yourself a better day, and we will see you when we see you in the new year.
Bye, everybody.
birthday, man.